the Philadelphia 76ers have decided that they're going to be potentially selling. And that is, even though they're the 11th seed, teams are calling them and saying, hey, we're interested in acquiring some of your talent that is available. And if it is available, one of those players that people do want to get involved with is a man by the name of Guerschon Yabusele. Yes, Guerschon over here is somebody who I think is doing a really, really good job of putting themselves in a position to get paid. He left the NBA, went back to Europe, and I've thought he's done such a good job of playing to his strengths, playing to his roles. Sorry, I was looking over here at OBS and at the settings. And Guerschon Yabusele so far this season is a multi-positional defender who can guard 1 through 4. He is an NBA level athlete. Very good frame at like 6'8", 230. 10.5 points, 50% from the field, 39% from 3, 5.5 rebounds, 2 assists, just under a steal a night and a half a block. And the 3 teams we're hearing are the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks, and the Denver Nuggets. All have interest in Guerschon Yabusele. And Yabusele is a great combo forward who can stretch the floor with his 3-point shot. And if they really want to, some team, if they want to try it out, could use him as a small ball big.
I just wanted to add, after we made this video, that Mark Stein says that sources tell him that Guerschon Yabusele continues to generate interest from playoff teams, with Philadelphia weighing offers that feature multiple second-round picks. Minnesota is the latest team. In that case, sources say, my colleague Michael Scotto at Hoops Hype, link will be in the description for more. Both Mark Stein and Michael Scotto both reported Thursday and Friday that Guerschon Yabusele is drawing interest from Boston, New York, Denver, and Minnesota. I would not be surprised if Minnesota is packaging Joe Ingles and whatever draft asset they can afford to give up for Guerschon Yabusele, because Yabusele is making, I think, almost a little over $1 million less than Joe Ingles, and Joe Ingles is making a veteran minimum, so it's actually a league subsidized contract that doesn't affect the salary cap. Now let's get right into the rest of the video.
So to me, a guy like Guerschon Yabusele, that the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Nuggets are all strong offensive teams that would benefit from having additional depth in the forward department, with a player who can play in the front court or out on the perimeter and guard several positions to help their defense, and also still be a guy who can give you some scoring on offense without needing the ball in his hand. And I think Yabusele's ability to play both inside and out make him an attractive target for a Denver Nuggets team that's 3rd in points per game, the number 1 field goal percentage in the league. They're 9th in 3-point percentage, but they don't take enough threes. And they're 10th in total rebounds, the number 1 assist team. While New York, on the flip side, outside of being the 4th best scoring team, their numbers efficiency-wise, 10th best 3-point shooting team, 18th in rebounding, and 12th in assists. I think getting a guy like Guerschon Yabusele, who's going to fit the profile of players that Tom Thibodeau really likes, is someone that you could trade Jericho Sims for, and maybe a 2nd-round pick or 2 second-round picks and get. Boston, I do think you're going to have to trade one of the younger guys that you like, but if you believe that's enough, you bring back the guy you drafted. This is a team that, yes, is the 5th best scoring offense in the league, but they're actually the 10th worst field goal percentage, and they're middle of the pack in 3-point percentage, even though they take the most threes and make the most threes. 12th in rebounds, and the 10th least amount of assists per game by team. So when you look at that, I think it's quite apparent that they would benefit from getting the size and the versatility that a player like Guerschon Yabusele would give them. I think the Knicks and the Nuggets are the most likely teams to do this, because they have the smaller contracts that they would want to move, plus assets. I think the Celtics are just such in a juxtaposition that they have the same team, and this arguably might be the last year of this team because of how expensive it is. But I do believe that a team like the Nuggets, who maybe want to move Dario Saric or one of their younger guys, and Guerschon Yabusele making a vet min is going to be able to get traded for quite easily. And I think the Sixers would rather have the young talent that the Nuggets, or the expiring contract that the Knicks can offer in Jericho Sims, than anything that the Celtics can offer, because I don't think any of the players that they have would necessarily fit the timeline that the Celtics are on. So I think that's where it becomes rather hard if you are a team like Boston and are interested in Guerschon Yabusele. I think it's going to be a bit difficult to get a player like him, even though I do think he is somebody that's going to be able to be effective in all three of those situations. And I think the going rate's probably 2 second-round picks. I think Philadelphia knows that he's going to be a guy who's probably going to get most, if not all, of the mid-level exception from a team, like 3 years, $27 million this offseason. So instead of losing him uncompensated, and they don't expect to compete for a championship with how this season has gone, it makes sense that they would go and get a guy like Guerschon. That's how I would do it, in my opinion. That's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. And what do you guys think of that?